Welcome to the Building One Story at a Time podcast.
We're your hosts. I'm Katie Herbine.
And I'm Stephanie LaChance.
Today, we're talking about our favorite plan options and which plan from EGStoltzfus would we build if money were no object and if we were being realistic.
All right, Katie, well, do you have any ideas you'd like to share with us about your favorite plan options?
Okay.
So these could be like, just for kind of like reference, these could be structural, architectural options. I mean, we could be talking about bump outs, sunrooms. We could be talking about kitchen packages, maybe kitchen cabinetry extensions. Kind of give me a sense of like, what are some of those things that like you're gonna definitely not skip?
Definitely not skipping on, now that I've learned of this, and I'm tainted, as Steph says, full overlay cabinetry. It sounds so pretentious to just be like, it has to be full overlay.
It does, though. But it does.
But it looks so good. I love like when the drawers have the same configuration as the cabinets. So like a 5-piece drawer front when you have that cabinet style of the rails and styles. That's definitely one of my like favorite type of options. And then you mentioned the kitchen packages. I definitely would say that like the culinary kitchen package is probably my favorite plan option that we offer because I think it's just really functional and looks very beautiful. Bespoke.
It does, yeah. I mean, we're sitting in the design studio together, and just to our right, we have a culinary kitchen installed, and it's just chef's kiss. Like the balance and the symmetry of this kitchen.
Yeah, the particular plan too. It's a Glen Mary kitchen, and so it is already very well balanced. But then the culinary kitchen in that package or in that plan even balances it more because you get your deep wall oven and microwave cabinet, flanked on the other side by your deep refrigerator cabinet, beautifully framed in the middle with 2 symmetrical cabinets. It's very colonial in its symmetry with that one.
Back to your point about the full overlay, though, when we work with buyers, I kind of joke. I'm like, yeah, I've been ruined because before we launched the studio in 2021, EGStoltzfus didn't even offer full overlay or 5-piece drawer fronts. Like it wasn't even an option, unless maybe you came and you knew to ask for it. But now I actually took a cabinetry class, kind of getting in preparation to take on this role here at the studio. And that was one of the things I learned was about what is full overlay versus partial overlay, what are 5-piece drawer fronts. And I was like, we need this guy.
So what is full overlay versus partial overlay? Basically, it's the overlay of the cabinet door on the cabinet frame. So a full overlay, the cabinet door is going to fully overlay and conceal the cabinet frame. So that's really beneficial if you have 2 cabinets next to each other, that their doors are going to look almost like they're touching rather than having over an inch of space in between that cabinet door and the next cabinet door. Partial overlay is your cabinet door is only going to partially overlay the cabinet frame. We use a 1/2 inch for the partial overlay.
Mind the gap. It's the mind the gap.
Oh, that's all right. Mind the gap. It's actually a really fun board game I played with my family.
All right, we're getting a little off topic. Your favorite plan options, Katie. Shoot off some more for us.
There are so many. The retreat bath. So if you're a soaking tub kind of person, I've become a soaking tub kind of person. My parents just recently remodeled their bathroom and added a soaking tub. And now
they've invited you over to try it out?
No.
What?
No, they haven't. I've only used it to give my little niece a bath, and I just can imagine bathing my little babies in a big soaking tub. So I love that option just because I really like kind of using your spaces for other things too. So that beautiful soaking tub, it's a beautiful focal point, but washing your little babies in there.
Yeah. And your relaxation time. I mean, who doesn't want to come home from work and unwind and have a glass of wine?
In a retreat.
Bubbles. Yep.
Retreat to your bathtub.
Exactly. Your owner's bath should feel like a retreat.
Absolutely.
Or it should feel like a luxury, which is the other bath package we offer.
Is that your favorite?
You know, I think it might be one of my favorites. Yeah. Although on a rancher specifically, because I'd want 9-foot ceilings in my luxury bath. That would make it feel even more luxurious to me. So I think I prefer that plan when it's, or that layout when it's on a rancher home.
Yeah, definitely. I always joke that luxury bath, it's a 7-foot shower, 7 by 4 feet. That bath is as big as my current bathroom.
I think same.
And then my very last favorite plan option is a covered screened in deck.
Yep.
I hate mosquitoes and I love outside time. So I'm definitely covering the deck. You get a nice cathedral ceiling and then screening it in so no bugs are biting me.
In Washington State where I grew up,
they don't have bugs.
We don't have mosquitoes. I shouldn't say we. I don't live there anymore, but there are no mosquitoes. So the house I grew up in, no screens.
That's
no screens
crazy.
on our windows. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so it was a little of an adjustment to come out here and then not have to worry about mosquitoes and bug bites again. For the first time ever. But
all right, Steph, what are your favorite plan options?
Well, I would say if your plan doesn't include the island and it offers the galley island, I think the galley island is my favorite island that we offer. With exception to on the Glenmary and the Ardmore, where you can do the extended island. I like how we add the cabinets to the back of those islands for the additional storage. And then also by making the islands deeper, you're kind of pulling away the seating area, where people are going to be hanging out. Because inevitably people congregate and they hang out in the kitchen nowadays. That's where the food is. That's where the action is. No one wants to hang out in your formal living room anymore. Hey guys, wait here.
But these chairs look so comfy. Yeah. Don't you want to sit?
The island stools near the cheese and the meat look better, actually.
Give me the charcuterie.
Exactly. So I like those added cabinets because you can kind of put the stuff in there that, as we mentioned, I struggle. I want a big kitchen. I have a lot of kitchen stuff. I'd love to use my kitchen stuff more often. So having that additional storage would be amazing. Just open up those cabinets. You can put that stuff in there that you don't use that often. Maybe the stuff you only use around holidays or some of those smaller appliances too that would fit in that space that, again, you don't use on a daily basis, but that you can't quite get rid of. You're still committed to a little bit. Yeah. Just having the storage there would be such a benefit.
Definitely. That's a really good point. And I love how wide that galley island is, that it really just feels like a dining table in your kitchen that's tall and functional and is a secondary workspace. Really good to lay out if you're like me, where when you're prepping something, you need everything out in front of you. That galley island is the way to go.
Yep. It comfortably seats 5 stools, and that's how we have it staged here at our design studio. Let me see. Another plan option that I really like. I think I'm still on the entertainer kitchen over the culinary, personally. Without the cabinets to the ceiling, the chimney hood. If you're doing cabinets to the ceiling, the under cabinet hood. Because cabinets to the ceiling, having that chimney hood there, it's kind of like an interruption to that kind of built-in my opinion, to that kind of built-in look of having cabinets to the ceiling. My personal preference is to keep the under cabinet hood there, and then that cabinet also extends to the ceiling. So you just have this really sophisticated and classic look of having all of those cabinets extend all the way to the ceiling. They really look like an architectural statement, and that they were meant to be there.
Yeah, that's really true. I think the cabinets to the ceiling is probably one of my other favorite options that we introduced since opening the design studio. 8-foot ceilings, they can just extend the cabinets to the ceiling and you don't have any separate doors. Really beautiful and really kind of elongates that 8-foot ceiling look. And then when you have 9-foot ceilings, we'll stack a second cabinet on top, and you can do it with a solid door if you want the look of the cabinets to the ceiling, but not the anxiety of, oh my God, I have to style those. Or we can do it with glass front cabinets if you have decorative china or a lot of kind of knickknacks or collectibles that you wanted to display in the kitchen. I think that's definitely one of my favorite plan options.
Yeah. And we've been hearing people say too, when they see the cabinets that don't go to the ceiling, we get asked a lot, well, what do you do with that space? It just looks like more to dust. And it is, but how often are you going to notice that the tops of your cabinets are dusty? Probably not that often. All right, I would build the Glen Mary.
Even if money were no object, you would build the Glen Mary.
Oh, which one would you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say the Lawrenceville.
The Lawrenceville? Okay, it might be because the Lawrenceville has 2 staircases. That's 2 staircases, people. One for the main family.
My 90s sitcom heart.
Like, I am just waiting. We actually have not built one yet because it's a fairly new plan. New plans, sometimes because we can't go see it, it's harder to envision. But oh my gosh, guys, this plan is a winner. I cannot stress how excited I am to see this one once it gets built. I do think you're right. I think it's really going to be the Lawrenceville.
Money, no object. It's
Money,
the
no
Lawrenceville.
object. It's the Lawrenceville. Yeah. I mean, it's just like a statement. It's just a showstopper. Maybe, hopefully, one day we'll have it as a model home.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
It would look so pretty.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Katie? Money, no object. Which home plan would you be building today?
Money, no object. I would probably build a Windsor with a sunroom.
Okay.
So I just love the exterior architectural style of the Windsor. It kind of has that colonial with, especially in the heritage elevation where you have a lot of stone on the front elevation. And then inside it has a first floor owner's bedroom, which I also really like. I hate going upstairs, but I don't want a rancher. So I think that's a good option for me. And then adding the sunroom to get some extra light and a third kind of entertaining space, because upstairs in that plan, there's a media room. But to have secondary place for adults to hang out. I like that idea.
I envision that media room becoming like the teenage hangout spot. Or
please go up there.
Yeah. Just go up there and stay up there. All right?
Seriously. I'll call you when it's time for dinner. All right. Now we're being realistic.
Okay. Which plan would you build, Katie? Being realistic.
It's really hard. They're all so good. I have bounced back a lot between the Brentwood because it's pretty inexpensive to build. It's basically a box, but it has really nice flow from room to room.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the idea of putting pocket doors on the flex room. My colonial heart loves pocket doors.
So good.
But I think you've totally turned me onto the Glen Mary as the...
I made you a convert.
Yeah, you've converted me to the Glen Mary clan. Why do you love the Glen Mary?
Oh, again, it has that same kind of balance and symmetry that the Brentwood has, except instead of like the Brentwood where it's longer than it is deep, the Glen Mary is deeper than it is wide.
Yeah.
So you walk in, you're greeted with a very narrow kind of foyer, but it's open to both the flex room and the dining room. And then you go into the kitchen. Kitchen is very balanced and symmetrical. It's very wide and open. It's great for entertaining because your main living space is right there, open to the kitchen, open to your breakfast area. And then you can add that optional reading nook too, which just adds like some architectural interest. And my fiance has a very big family. So when we're hosting, which if I had the Glen Mary, it would always be us hosting.
Yeah.
We would be putting out a table for upwards of like 30 people. So the Glen Mary gives us the space between the island, the table for the adults, and then the table for the kids too.
Yeah, that's true. It has like that really long family room that you could put in a dining table for a special occasion. I also really like that too if you're washing dishes because the island has the sink in it. So it overlooks the family room. So if you're washing dishes, you can very easily watch TV, as I love to do.
And you're still a part when you're hosting and entertaining. You're still a part of the action. Like you're not off in your own kitchen room doing the cleaning.
Yeah, we haven't relegated the women or the kitchen to the different part of the house anymore. Thank goodness.
Now we can enjoy too while we're cleaning up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Glen Mary is a very special plan. And I also really like the owner's bedroom in the Glen Mary because you walk in and you see the very obvious bed wall. Like you're walking in and you're seeing the bed. That's my one thing about the Brentwood is that there's doors on either side. So there's not really that designated, like, this is where your bed should go.
Right. Kind of the Brentwood is like so typically our rule for determining which wall should be the bed wall is you should be able to walk into a room and look straight ahead at the headboard, whether it's kind of straight ahead of you or it's just to the side. You should be walking in and looking at the headboard of that bed. The Brentwood is the exception to that because of where the doors are located for the walk-in closet, where you're actually looking at like the footboard of the bed. But it can still be a very nice, beautiful layout, even with that caveat of
Yeah,
where
and I
your
think that
bed wall goes.
opens it up to like that wall could be an accent wall if you're really into like doing some
Yes.
accents and stuff. I think it'd be cool to put like
Big art.
wallpaper or something
Ooh,
on
yeah.
that wall too.
Yeah.
Oh my
Especially
gosh.
with the optional cathedral ceiling you can do for that
Yeah,
space.
yeah,
That
definitely.
will add some interest and intrigue to that,
Yeah, absolutely.
that plan.
Very cool, very fun. All right, Stephanie, I'm signing off with asking you,
Okay.
what is your favorite sample we offer?
My favorite sample we offer right now today would have to be the Calcutta Clara. That is a tier 4 quartz. It doesn't get used that often, but it's just like a very subtle, soft, it's like a warm white base. And then it does have like a gray vein through it. So it's going to be one of your imitation marble look countertops. But it's just like so subtle and soft and like inviting. And it pairs so nicely. It's not stark or harsh. I hopefully we get to put it in a model home sometime soon, because I think it's a little underappreciated, a little under looked at. We don't get to look at it that often, just because the Calcutta Laza is so popular. We have it installed here at the studio.
Yeah.
So that it's easier to see in a large sample. But yeah, the Calcutta Clara would have to be my answer today.
I'm bouncing off of that and saying the tier 4 quartz Calcutta Classique. That one I love. It has the veining on it is more of like a blue gray, even some green undertone, and then there's flecks in it that can pull gold or gray depending on what you're pairing it with. So I really like to pair that with either a deep bold cabinet or that brushed gold faucet that people are kind of leaning towards today.
Yeah, because you can pull out the warm tones from that countertop too. It's overly a cooler countertop, but because of that little fleck you're describing, it can go both ways.
It goes both ways.
It does.
All right, we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.